Hi YouTube, Darth here. This is Over Your Shoulder, a series where I follow unsuspecting players and give what is usually unsolicited advice. Today's target is Trinity Benfleck, a level 62 player with a definite preference for blood money and conquest. As I follow over Benfleck's shoulder today, I'll call out all the good things, the bad things, and the things I might do differently. At the end, I'll give a summary of what Benfleck could work on for the future, but for now, let's look over Ben's shoulder. And we're on the ground with Ben, and it looks like we were in the cat and got out of the cat for some reason. Maybe a little bit confused here about what we're doing with our buddy and our squad. Can't find the entrance anymore. Getting back in the cat. Not really sure what happened there, but now that we've got that sorted out, let's take a look at what we're running on this truck. Alright, it looks like we have the gunner ammo belt. That'll help him get a few more rounds downrange, but I think I still prefer the proximity scan for close quarters infantry battles. Looks like we're making our way to the vault right now. I would probably take up a position behind the vault or in front of the vault and get a good line of fire against enemies. Looks like we're crashing into stuff right now. Looks like they're pretty well set up on top of that building right now. Doing some work. It looks like the helicopter is dead, and we have the other cat coming along now. Starting to take some rounds from this thing. I hope that his primary gunner, sees what's going on here. Looks like they are exchanging fire now. Currently running as an operator. Probably would have been better to run as a mechanic instead to lend a little bit of repair support to his buddy here. And also taking hits from that chopper. If that chopper comes around, this may be game over, but it looks like we took those guys out of that car. If you can, try to steal the car. And here's another opportunity where it would have paid off to be a mechanic instead, because you could have grabbed their car. Looks like they've grabbed your car, but it exploded, so that's good. Whenever you can, try to grab an enemy's vehicle from them, because that gives you a substantial advantage. So let's see what we're working with here. It looks like we have a pretty standard setup for the sidearm. M16, yeah, it looks like aside from that heavy barrel and extended mags, we really haven't done much. Along with that incendiary device, this will be a pretty good close quarter setup, particularly because of that high rate of fire of the M16 that you see right there, 800 rounds per minute, pretty useful. Catches that guy right there on the money pile. Good job checking the corners there. Apparently misses one guy here, manages to take him out. Gets that cash pickup from the enemy. Probably not a whole lot he has to pick up here from the money pile to be full up, and yep, there it is right there. And joy of joys, we have the zip line up here already waiting for us. On Dust Bowl Blood Money in particular, you can get to the roof, and as long as you have a zip line, you can get to either of the two vaults. So it's actually a really helpful gadget to have all the time anyways. Looks like we have an enemy in the car and the mini-map, but he's not paying attention, so we're going to get this plant pretty easy. Easy peasy, and that puts up the cops by 10 points to the criminal 0. Looks like we have one invader coming in the money pile. Good job on him trying to defend against that. Ben takes care of business there and gets taken out from that RPG from that car we saw earlier. Good couple of first minutes there for the cops and Ben in particular. It looks like we have the attack chopper that we are currently piloting. Nothing there on the loadout that we can see, so probably a pretty standard loadout. Taking a look at the HUD, we can see it's the HMG. Probably going to take out this helicopter, get a couple of kills with it. That enemy chopper is going to be in a lot of trouble if they don't face him and start shooting at him. It looks like the gunners are not paying attention at all, trying to get those kills on the ground. That is going to be a pinata of death. It looks like we just got the vehicle kill and nothing more. Now when you're flying the attack chopper on this map in particular, you're going to want to watch out for the stinger that does come up from time to time. And there it is right now. We're getting a lock-on on us through the flares. We're going to have to dive and maybe not into the ground like that. Let's see if we can recover this. Looks like a teammate piloting it, going to bail, get out, get back into this truck. So as I was saying with the helicopter, you're going to want to dive and get out of range of any follow-up shots from that stinger. And it looks like we're trading shots with this guy, manages to take him out. Probably wouldn't tend towards the center of the map here, simply because it's all eyes on you at all times. Heading back to the vault, let's see if there's anything we can do about this counterattack truck. I probably would have thrown it closer to it, but we get taken out by the attack helicopter from the enemy team. So we're back in the vehicle. At this point, I'd probably be looking at the criminals' stockpile and saying, you know what, that's not enough for me to go and justify trying to raid their vault, so I'd probably be going for the money pile again. As an operator, he's probably taking it a little bit too close to that counterattack truck. We saw an enemy here. We're following up. Looks like we're going to get the shot easy in on him. And there's the spawn bomb and gets taken out by that spawn bomb. So right there, he held down on the trigger just a little bit too long and missed all of those follow-up shots where he could have easily taken out that spawn bomb. Have the criminal chopper heading on overhead. Looks like we are going to get an assist here on two guys. The cops are still well over the criminals by about 30 points, 45 to 15. Taking a look at the minimap, looks like we have that helicopter still circling around. We saw one guy there. Taking a look, it looks like their whole enemy team's to his left. If he doesn't pay attention to that, he's going to be in trouble, and there it is. So a little bit too eager there to try to get to the cash pile. Back in a car now. Looks like we have nothing special going on with this car. Didn't see the weapon pickup icon in the trunk, so he probably doesn't have an RPG or a stinger. Gonna try and get to this cash pile a little bit quicker than before. Criminal's crossing the road right now. Let's see if we can get this guy. Nope, not quite. Criminal sees him exit on the minimap, goes and looks for him, doesn't quite come up with him, manages to get the shot there with the M16. We see one guy up there on the second terrace throwing a grenade, misses him. We've got no friendlies on the point, so we probably want to take it a little bit slower. Almost gets taken out by that guy at the top of the stairs. Manages to catch him first, but gets taken out by his buddies here with the grenade. Back in the cat again, it looks like we have an SUV that's straight up, taking some shots at that guy. You probably could have killed him when he was sticking out like a little hedgehog or something. Shooting back at him now, but that SUV is pretty much history with that attack helicopter bearing down on him, and he is gone. SUV problem's gone, so let's drive the cat on up. I would probably take this to the enemy vault. We're starting to get a little bit of a stockpile over there. 30 is probably where you want to start thinking about hitting it at. Depends on what the final score is on the map, of course. Like I said earlier, it's not worth getting that stash unless it's over what you could get at the normal cash pile. Took a detour there to look for some enemies. Didn't find any. Back into the cat again. Looks like the Caliban 1977 is driving. Like I said earlier, I'd either take this thing to their cash vault or put it in a spot that'll prevent them from getting any more caps so easily. Because currently you're looking at about 54 for the cops and 41 for the criminals, and it doesn't look like we have any friendlies over there on the money pile, so it's pretty much a clean run for the criminals to just keep funneling money over there, and it's already happening. You have a 54-51 now. Taking a look here, we can see that a friendly died on the minimap, so we know somebody was here. Taking a look around, not finding him. Probably in one of these little houses back here, maybe this one or the next one, or as we can see right there in that one. Frankly, I don't think I would take this head on because that's a good way to get shot in the face with a grenade, but thankfully for Ben, he was in mid-reload. A better option would have been to come in from behind and get that non-lethal takedown in order to try and get some visibility on where the enemies are right now. And while we spend some time away from the objectives, the criminals are now leading this game by about 7 points. Again, this is probably a good opportunity to take this a little bit slowly just in case enemies do pop out just like that. Got a couple of friendlies to help out with this money pile, taking a shot at the... Oh my god, we just got taken out by some vehicular manslaughter. And that is how quick it can happen in this game, folks. You just die in an instant. Looks like we have a couple enemies up here. Probably wouldn't chase along with this guy. Probably give him a half a second to get up here and take out that guy himself. Alright, looks like we've cleared the roof. Probably time to take some cash, take out the zip line, and get some money flowing into the cops' treasury here. Looks like the criminals are way ahead now. We've still got 2 incendiaries, so I'd probably chuck one down the stairs here to try and cut off that avenue of approach for the criminals. While at the same time, trusting my teammates to actually be watching those stairs, so I'd probably be watching that doorway behind me so they don't come in from behind. We're fully loaded now, so it's time to go and get the cap in. That SUV is parked and waiting, so I'd probably take it to try and get to the caps just a little bit quicker, and it looks like Ben Fleck is doing that too. We can see those green dots on the minimap, which tells us that there are some cash piles that are waiting to be picked up. Starting to take some hits from this attack helicopter now. Might be in trouble. Still 50 hit points. I'd probably try to make it. Oh, get taken out by that attack helicopter. So once again, we're back in the cat, this time with a different driver. I'd probably be making that attack helicopter that was circling around my primary target. Don't currently see it on the map, so it probably has been taken out by the helicopter that's currently in the air. Taking a look at the situation, the cops have gotten a few more caps in. Looks like those teammates that were on the pile ran it in. Currently about a 30-point split. 3 caps, still anybody's game, really. Looks like the friendly cat is taking pot shots at this for some reason. I'd be definitely driving this to the enemy vault at this point, because this is where a cap on the enemy vault could really pay off at this point in the game. They're within striking distance of victory, and you are pretty well behind, so you probably want to start considering ways that you can take their money from them. And it looks like there's 3 in there currently, and we're completely ignoring it, and instead going back to the cash vault. Looks like we're looking to take out this SUV here, or possibly the command truck. Probably would have taken out the SUV first, because it takes you out otherwise. Spawned on a teammate at the vault, almost get taken out here by that enemy. Holy crap. Looks like they landed their helicopter on top of this roof. We appear to have a serious vendetta against their spawn vehicle, trying to do everything in our power to take it out. That SUV is popping its gunner again. Good job in getting safe and cover from that. Criminals ahead of the cops, and we get taken out by the attack helicopter, which has made a reappearance. So this game's pretty close still, with about 2 caps of difference between the 2 teams. I would definitely be considering trying to hit that vault up, since the enemy team has been out of position capping most of the game. That suggests that they can't possibly be defending at the same time, or if there are defenders, there are probably very few of them. As you can see, there's a couple at the friendly vault right now, and it looks like we have a vendetta against this SUV that we need to take care of first. So right here is some classic Battlefield play where a player will get in their mindset that they have to kill the last thing that killed them. And this is a habit you need to train yourself to get out of, because what it leads to is situations like this where you lose sight of the game's overall objective and you go for just that one person. You know, if it's an easy kill on your way to the objective, then go for it by all means, but if it's taking you out of your way, then it's probably not a good idea. So conversely, if you're the person that's pissing somebody off, what you can do is set up an ambush while you're waiting for that person to come back and kill you. But if you're setting up that ambush, make sure that you keep moving, because what's going to happen is people know where you are and they're going to come looking for you in the same spot you were. If you're still there when they find you, you're dead. As for Ben, trying to clear off a little bit of this riffraff, throws a grenade, might be able to land it on him. Looks like we can't quite get it, and we get taken out by a gas grenade, probably from below. The cops have been on the cash pile for a little while now, so if we have 2 or 3 caps running back, we might be in good shape again. Still only 2 caps separate the 2 teams. Saw an enemy there, taking a shot, manages to come up with him. Looks like we're back to the operator rather than being the mechanic that we were earlier. Looks like we're picking up a fair bit of cash that was dropped up here on top. We got a full load. Probably not a bad idea to try and get that back in right now. Looks like we have a teammate with a zip line. Hopefully another full bag. But this might get real close real soon here. His teammate's showing you why it's really important to bring a zip line with you on this map in particular. If we can get these caps in, we would probably be in really good shape to have a victory. Too many enemies here and gets taken out. We're in an attack helicopter now with a buddy, and it looks like that might have been all she wrote if the criminals pick up those 2 giant cash piles they dropped earlier. Manages to convince the other pilot to bail. We need to start thinking about getting to that enemy vault because it looks like we might have some runners heading towards it. Just got 1 cap in. If we get 2 more, it's going to be game over here real soon. Need to get over that vault real quick like. Looks like we are over it currently, bearing down on that other cat. Not much good you're going to do there, just shooting at that armored vehicle. There's that second cap. We're at 143 now. 1 more cap and this is going to be over. I don't think we're going to do a whole lot of good here in the air. And like I said here, you start seeing that player tunnel vision now and that one objective that they're trying to get that is not necessarily the objective. Just hyper-focusing on that kill and the objective gameplay can really mean doom for you. Looks like we're missing that guy entirely, and that is the game. So we had some really good focus at the start of the round, and that slumped off pretty quickly with some frustrating RPGs and vehicle murders. This reminds me a lot of my games where I'll start off hot and quickly get behind where I want to be. My advice would be to keep a clear mental picture of what needs to happen in a round to win, regardless of what just happened in your previous life. A lot of players, myself included, will get stuck in a loop where they'll try to kill the last thing that killed them. Otherwise, some good early play, and Ben Fleck maybe needs to let a little bit up on the trigger in some circumstances. That's it for this episode of Over Your Shoulder. Be sure to check out my contact information below if you'd like to be in an episode in the future. If you're new around here, please take a moment to check out my channel and consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, YouTube.